Son of a bitch. Hi guys. Cause I needed even more of that shit in my life. Can y'all hear me now? Hopefully this shit is working. Let's get our kitty cat back up on the screen. I just need confirmation y'all can hear me, damn it. Okay. Fuck. That's how we're starting tonight. Um yeah, I wasn't muted. My computer did the thing again where it said, "Hey, we have an update for you." And I said, "No." And then I came back a little while later and it had updated. And it did this to me last time, but I thought to check it before the show. For some reason, it disconnects my mic and won't pick it up until I actually unconnect the cord and reconnect it, and then it'll work. And so, what was I saying? Son of a bitch. Hi, guys. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. I've had just a day. I've had some very good parts of my day, and then I've had some very bad parts of my day. I think I may have broke a toe or two. Had a great time with the family. Had a family. Been a weird fucking day. But we're here to talk about idiots and assholes. None of what I just meant bulbs. Okay, I guess possibly breaking my toes is an idiot move. But we're going to pretend it's not and just say it's those things happen kind of move. Oh, fuck. I don't even, I should probably just stop. I should just turn off the show and delete the damn thing. This is kind of a show update, a programming update. I may be gone for a few days coming up here real soon. I may have to make a trip because of something mentioned just a little bit ago. As soon as I know, I'll let you guys know. But anyway, let's get into our morons of the day. And I'm actually going to give this one moron of the week because Jesus fucking Christ. I've seen a lot of really stupid shit. A lot over the last week. I've seen vile, disgusting. I've seen people that I genuinely think should probably have somebody watching over them to make sure they don't choke to death on their own drool. And then we have Geraldo. How was the family event? It was really good. The family event today was me, my brother, and my stepbrother. We get together once a year for a family picnic kind of thing, and it was really good. We're all grandfathers now, and all of our grandbabies. Well, not all of our grandbabies. Lots of our grandbabies were there. Lots of our children were there. My daughter wasn't able to make it. My stepbrother, I think two of his sons didn't make it. But yeah, it was a good time. It was nice. All right. So whether Tyler Robinson faces a firing squad in Utah for the murder of Charlie Kirk, my guess is the accused killer will probably have been motivated more by Halo and similar fantasy role playing than by substantive political discord. Yep. Geraldo Rivera just blamed video games for the murder of Charlie Kirk. I will say that's a first. That's a first for me. I haven't seen anybody say anything near as retarded as that. Close, but so far I have not seen Halo made him do it. I thought we'd gotten past this. I thought we'd gotten past the point of blaming video games for real world violence. And Pac-Man is why, yeah, dude, I eat ghosts all the time because of Pac-Man. Now, Geraldo apparently is on an anti-gaming kick because before he said that, he said, "Shut the fuck up about Civil War. Life is not a video game." And then he follows that up with his, the games did it. He goes on to say in his original post that I was reading, "The game features grunts versus elites. I'm guessing nobody wants to be an elite. I've never played Halo. I have the series on Steam, but I still have never actually turned it on. I might have played a tiny, tiny, tiny bit way back when like Halo first came out and my sons were playing it, but nothing that I could be like, I played. But so maybe he's got some kind of point here about nobody wanting to be grunts versus elites or whatever. But the notion that the shooter was inspired by Halo, and what was it? Fantasy role playing. Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons and Halo caused him to go out there and shoot Charlie Kirk. This is a newsman. This is a newsman. This is somebody who gives people the news and gives his opinion on the news. And some people take very seriously. Oh, I forgot to bring up that Atlantic article. I wanted to grab that one too because I wanted to highlight Geraldo because it is just so dumb, but it is also another time where we see our press just not fucking understanding what's going on, getting it wrong, being retarded, whatever you want to say about them. I don't understand how these people have jobs. And I'm not saying they should be fired for their political take. Thank you. Thank you, Keldrick. Wow, Jack Thompson looks a lot different than he used to. Yes, yeah, grew a big gay mustache. These people should be fired because they're bad at their jobs. They are lying, indoctrinating shitbags. They all have a fucking agenda. And their agenda should be giving us the facts. And look, I'm fine with people giving their opinions and stuff, but those opinions should be based on facts. And not leaving some facts out, not keeping some of it hidden from the masses that you're trying to hoodwink into your bullshittery. So our next guy on our list today of dumbasses is Jonathan. Is it Jonathan Shit? I think is how you pronounce that. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. Jonathan Shit here from The Atlantic. Conservatives hunted for a Democrat endorsing Charlie Kirk's murder. They found none. Instead, they created an alternate world in which it was so. I don't know if anybody told Jonathan Shit here, but a Democrat talking head got fired off of MSNBC for what he said literally right after they found out Charlie was shot. Those damn conservatives, they couldn't find a single Democrat, not one, paying no attention to libs of TikTok who's found tons of elected Democrats in state and local governments, not just endorsing the shooting, cheering the shooting of Charlie Kirk. But in this asshole's mind, none of that exists. They had to fabricate it. He eventually, because there's an argument that ensues, he eventually gets to no elected Democrat, which is fucking funny. Look at Ilhan Brotherfucker's statement. Be careful with Ilhan's statement, Faithless, because there is a fake quote of what she said going around. What she said is bad enough, but there's a fake quote going around about what she said. If you paid attention to what I just told you, as he moves this to no elected Democrat, there are tons of elected Democrats from school boards to state houses who have endorsed, celebrated, or blamed Charlie for his own murder. But no, none of that exists. That's all deep fakes and Russian bots. No, it's not, because these are shitty people. I'm so tired of having to convince shitty people that shitty people exist. Oh man. Where's he going with those goalposts? He's taking them as far as he can to make this make any sense. Next, he's going to come out and say, hey, you can't find any elected presidents. Oh my God. Yeah, that's just because Biden isn't coherent enough to speak. The reality is he was shot because he was effective at spreading conservative ideas and calling out the absolute insanity of the left. And I don't want to take anything away from Charlie, but Charlie wasn't the first one to do this. And I would even argue he probably wasn't even the most effective one to do this when it comes to rhetoric. I think Charlie was just the beneficiary of X getting bought by Elon. Ben did it. Milo did it. Crowder did it. Lots of people have gone to these college campuses and talked to these people. And in my estimation, did a much better job with the pushback. Charlie wasn't bad at it. But unlike the others, he didn't get silenced for it until they shot him. And this is going to sound horrible, but things like Elon buying Twitter are why people think now, hey, we got to go shoot him, because they have to silence you in some manner. If you're conservative, they have to silence you, because this is the commie thing I talk about all the time, where it necessitates fascism, and it necessitates that authoritarianism where you're not allowed to question. Because if you're allowed to question whether or not a man can turn into a woman, well, common sense is going to be on your side. And the people who are pushing the nonsense, no, there's no difference. Once you take a pill and cut a giant hole in your pee-pee, you're basically a real woman. It doesn't stand up to scrutiny. And this is why the left was silencing people. This is why they gave us the great silencing after 2016 election. So why you saw them lock down YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, and you weren't allowed to question, because with just the most basic questions, their whole ideology falls apart, and that can't be allowed to happen. Actually, Monkey, you're wrong. Charlie is good. Charlie had a very bad habit of not staying on the topic that they were talking about. I just went over one a couple weeks ago. Go watch it and tell me I'm wrong. There's several times when he's having this discussion, and instead of dealing with what was said to him, he decides he wants to talk about something else. That's where I say he was not as good as the others are, because the others would stay on topic, and he would beat them on that topic instead of switching it to another topic. He was fine at it. I don't think he was anything special with it. He was clearly effective, but again, he is a beneficiary of the rise of free speech, which is a sad fucking thing we have to say in America. The rise of free speech. Yeah, so I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just being honest about it. Charlie was lucky to be at the right place at the right time, and sometimes that is all you need. Well, Charlie also is the beneficiary of everyone else stopping. When was the last time? I don't watch Crowder anymore, so maybe he still does. But when was the last change my mind on a college campus? When was the last time Shapiro did what he used to do, what he got famous on the internet doing? But these guys, Milo hasn't done it for years and years and years after all of that shit blew up. So, I mean, Charlie worked at it. Charlie's been doing it for a long time, and I think he was good at what he did. I think a lot of it was him being the beneficiary of the timing. Now, the rest of what he did, the networking, the building friendships, building Turning Point the way that he did, that's all on him. And I don't know who his partners are in Turning Point. He was very effective at that. But anyway, they need to shut you down. They need you to be quiet, which leads us to our Destiny clip of the day, which is not like a regular feature, but I like to say of the day. So that's what you get. This is Destiny up here in the corner. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see him. I can't because it's behind my my UI for this. But it's Destiny going to be talking up in the corner. And Hutch here. Hutch is the bald guy right here. He's going to be, well, we'll let them talk.
Out the crime statistics?
Not exactly like.
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature.
You need conservatives to be afraid to get killed, so they will look to their leaders to turn down the temperature. Yeah, because they're the ones who said get in their faces. They're the ones who said take to the streets. They're the ones who said I don't understand why there's not a revolution every moment. Sounds like terrorism to me. It's exactly terrorism. That's exactly what it is. It is using political violence to scare people. They should be afraid to go into public. What kind of fucking wording is that? What kind of... Oh my God. I've seen a whole lot of what Charlie says, and I still disagree with several things that he said, especially when he gets into the more Jesus-y stuff. But I've seen so many people, like one of the things Charlie said was that the 64 Civil Rights Act was a mistake, which, by the way, it was. I know people don't want to hear that, but nobody ever points out why he said it was a mistake. They just leave it hanging. And what they usually do is say, he said 4 black women didn't get into their position because of DEI. Or he actually just says, or what they'll say is, Charlie Kirk says black women took jobs from white men, which, by the way, is not what he said. And that is a gross oversimplification of what he said. But they'll do that. Or the one that I saw earlier today was this ignorant bitch. We'll watch her in a minute. She opens by telling us that Charlie said he'd be nervous if there was a black pilot. And then he said the 64 Civil Rights Act was a mistake. What do you come away with when you hear that? What do you come away with? It's like, oh, he was a racist. He was a horrible fucking racist. Well, when he was talking about the black pilot, or actually it's any pilot other than a white man, let's just be clear. And wait, are you calling them white nationalists? No. But the only people left that have to prove things, that they have to prove that they're good enough to do it, is white men. That's what DEI gets us. DEI gets it so that, yes, you can, if you see somebody other than a white man, it's legit to go, did they earn that? Should they really be there? Now, in most cases, yeah, they're probably good enough. And in some cases, somebody flies their helicopter in front of a jumbo jet. It's a legitimate criticism of affirmative action, which was just renamed DEI, because you're not hiring people based on merit. And that's the same thing this is why Charlie was against the Civil Rights Act, because all of this shit comes from that. Instead of meritorious advancement, it's like, oh, you're black, he's white, you get the job because you're black. It's literally it's not reverse racism, it's just racism. It's fighting racism with racism. Because yes, there used to be tons of people, we'll just hire honkies only. Sorry, that's all we do. You guys can't do it. And it was racist, and yeah, absolutely. But you don't fight racism with racism. That's retarded. That's not how you get rid of it. You fight it with equality, not equity, equality. And the only way to get equality when you're talking about work or school is doing it through merit. It's the only way. But they never tell the whole story. Instead, it's just, he said he didn't like that the 64 Civil Rights Act was a mistake. No context given at all. And so then all they have to do is play a little clip where he says that. And they're like, oh, see, he totally said it. Never play the full clip where he explains why. Because again, if their ideas are challenged, they fall apart. So control the language, you control everything. I don't know how many times I can say that in my lifetime, but hopefully it takes off and people understand what's happening. And in this case, I mean, can you get a more obvious example of control the language and you control everything than this lefty shitbag Destiny going, people should be afraid to say conservative things in public. so that they'll go to their leaders and make them turn down the heat. I had a brief exchange, I think it was with Dangerous today on Twitter. And it is amazing how many times you will see members of the press and members of the left lie about what somebody said or did and then call that person divisive. Like Charlie Kirk said that he'd be afraid or he wouldn't trust if a black pilot stepped on the plane. He was a divisive son of a bitch. Like, don't put any of that into context. Who was the divisive one there? Charlie or you lying? Because when you leave out context that blatantly, you are lying. Speaking of leaving context out, yeah, we're not going to watch the rest of the Destiny thing. Fuck that guy. But I do want to highlight this. We're going to have to watch some Hasan shit, guys. I apologize. It's not my fault. I didn't make Hasan. I'm not one of his inbred relatives. I had nothing to do with it. But this video is getting some traction. I think we watched part of it the other night. We'll watch more of it tonight. But Tectone put this video out. Somebody else made this. This video has actually been around before, but or at least as far as I understand, Tectone is just the one who shared it.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage.
Hasan has an excuse for this one. He's got an excuse for why he said you need to gut them and let their guts writhe on stage. Don't worry, guys. This is a perfectly normal kind of thought to have. Dark Resurrect, thank you for that feminist $12. You know, if Destiny is saying that, you should be afraid to say conservative things in public. Makes me have to ask, why? Why should I be afraid to speak a political opinion? Oh, right, because your side wants me dead. Well, see, this is why my favorite question to ask people that I see celebrating this or telling me that Charlie was hateful is, how hateful do I need to decide you are for me to visit violence against you? Because violence is, or hateful is a subjective term. And by Destiny's own rhetoric here, he wants people to be afraid and worried that they're going to get killed so that their leaders will turn down the rhetoric. Well, your rhetoric is pretty fired up. How afraid should you need to be, sir? How afraid am I allowed to make you over that? Anyhow. So, no, he's not going to claim it was just a joke. I saw that in chat. No. This one wasn't a joke. Don't worry. We'll get to his explanation soon. Now they're going to make me read this. Hasan has used his massive platform to call for violence for years. Twitch does nothing. Don't worry. If you guys are just listening along, I'll read the screen.
Slice him up. Slice him and fucking dice him. What the fuck is this? Letting their intestines just ride on stage.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry. Holy shit.
This is probably one of the worst things that this fucker has said.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry. Holy shit. Murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
In a video game. He remembered to say that so that he can say that no, I didn't mean it for real when I shouted out, murder them. Hasan uses Amazon-owned Twitch.tv to call for violence against elected officials.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. Kill Rick Scott.
Now, for those of you who missed the other day, I had an argument with an idiot over that very clip where the person told me Hasan right there is responding to a clip from Mike Johnson And Hasan is just telling Mike Johnson that if you care about Medicaid fraud, you'd kill Rick Scott. He wasn't saying that that's the answer. Actually, he was. His prescription for fixing Medicaid fraud is to murder a senator. Like, no, he was only talking to Mike Johnson. One, he wasn't talking to Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson, I'm fairly certain, is not a regular viewer of Hasan. He was saying that's how you do it. That's how you fix it. I can assume Hasan's excuse is he meant it rhetorically. If you're talking about the first one, yeah, that's what. Well, again, we'll get into it.
I'm gonna kill you with my AR-15. Like that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's office, and he's resigning. Like he's literally, this is his last term. You actually wrote about this.
He's saying that is a good thing. That little clip right there, Hasan will don't worry. Hasan's not going to address all of this stuff when we get to him. But that one he addresses. He was just telling a story, you guys. He wasn't endorsing that. He wasn't endorsing that this guy who is a public official was being told that he's going to get murdered and that made him quit. He wasn't putting no. He was just reporting the news. Just reporting it. Now, here comes the one where he talks about Taylor Lorenz's video. Taylor Lorenz has actually gotten quite a pass for her bullshit because she is the whole reason Hasan decides it's okay to come out there and say somebody needs to do it is because of a Taylor Lorenz video that last I knew is still on YouTube and is basically a call for somebody to murder the president. But this is the clip most people, rather than that first half we just saw, part most people have seen.
It was a great video where you talked about, someone has to do it. See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean.
It's a great video about how someone has to do it. Everybody knows what he means.
Which is, I think that shows that there is a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and untapped potential.
Everybody knows what someone needs to do it means. That shows there's a lot of untapped potential. That's a scary fucking thought that's where he went. Would it be wrong for me to use a word like sleeper cell right now?
Untapped revolutionary potential, as a matter of fact.
CEO of Twitch, Dan Clancy, has stated that Hasan Piker is his favorite creator. That is true.
Not a gamer himself, Clancy mostly watches musicians or talk shows on Twitch. He particularly enjoys leftist political commentator Hasan Piker, who has 2.5 million followers on the platform. I like the frankness and the bluntness, Clancy said. He's comfortable saying what he believes.
Two things. One, no, he's not comfortable saying what he believes, or he wouldn't come around all the time being like, actually, it's not what I said, even though it's quite clearly what he said. Like in the Rick Scott case. I was just saying that somebody, Mike Johnson should shoot Rick Scott. That's all. Nobody else. Hasan is a pussy. He's afraid to say what he actually means. And when he accidentally does it, because he talks for 8 hours a day. He has a show on for 8 hours a day. And he's not smart enough to keep his most heinous thoughts inside. When he does express them, he always bitches out every fucking time. He bitches out every time. I would have at least some respect for him if he came out and just said what he meant and stuck to it. And he meant, look, I know you guys think this sucks, but this is what I actually believe. And the fucker does not have the balls to do that. He is a cunt. He is a cowardly cunt. And then it goes, are you comfortable with Hasan saying what he believes? Now, the reason I'm showing you this again isn't for this at all, actually. It is for this. Elon Musk saw this, and even though Bezos hasn't been on Twitter since April, he asked Jeff Bezos about this. Bezos is Tom Clancy. Is what is Clancy's first name? I know it was just said a minute ago. Clancy over there at Twitch. Bezos is his boss's boss. Because there is a CEO of Amazon, and Bezos is I forget the name. He's like the CEO chief of Amazon or some shit like that. Dan Clancy, thank you. So finally somebody with I've been saying forever that somebody needs to get this to Bezos's attention. Somebody needs to attach this to Amazon. Twitch is owned by Amazon. If you want to see Piker, look, I want to see the rules enforced equally. And for most people, that means they would get a couple more bans here and there. But people like Denims, people like Mike from PA, and people like Hasan, who have called for direct violence, not some arbitrary or vague violence. No. If you want to take care of Medicare fraud, you need to kill Rick Scott. He shouldn't be on the platform. That violates their terms in a way that he should not be allowed on there. He just doxed the fuck out of a whole bunch of people on his own side. On his own side. And no big deal. That is a blatant violation of Twitch rules. But, I mean, it's Hasan, and Dan likes him, so they're planning his next birthday singing. Anyhow, let's move along to Hasan here. He's going to be reading a Reddit thread explaining that video. Yeah, that's an important point. Anybody who said Hasan said these after Charlie died, I've not seen anybody say that. I've seen this retweeted over and over and over again. I have not seen a single person say that this was after cutting out. Sorry, guys. If it dropped, there's not much I can do about it. He really hasn't said that much yet. The screen is still on Twitter. What the hell? Hang on. Hey, what's up, Jack? I'm glad you're here. Can you talk to the audience for a second? I need to go figure out what's going on here.
Sure. Hi, everybody. It was the Jews. That's what everybody's saying on the internet. So I figured I'd share. Also, I fell asleep like an old man, so I'm a little groggy. How are you all doing?
Is it showing up now?
I can see the video, yeah.
Is Hasan in the bottom?
Unfortunately, right, yes.
Okay. I apologize, guys. On my screen, it was already showing me this, so I thought the video was up on the screen. Fuck.
Likely story.
Dude, the show started with my mic not working because my stupid ass computer reset earlier today. And I didn't think to fix that before I started.
Yeah, I fought with that the last couple of Microsoft updates. I don't know what the hell those people are doing over there, but they need to stop.
Thank you, Michael. Piker can do no wrong, silly monk. I know. In Dan's world, Piker is the amazing person. All right, so let me bring you guys where I was just a couple of minutes ago. That's okay. You just looked crazy. I don't mind looking crazy as long as I know it's happening.
Well, that would be the other side of being crazy, wouldn't it?
I guess. That's only ever happened one other time.
What, where the screen did come up?
Where the screen I was seeing was not, and showing me on StreamYards wasn't what everybody else was saying.
Happened yesterday.
Huh?
happened yesterday when, remember, I was like, we don't see what you're seeing.
That was me.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about when it wasn't me. Usually it's my fault.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
We don't admit that. We agreed. We wouldn't tell them we fuck up.
Michael, thank you. Just testing. Hasan. He would never come here because I'm making fun of him, and he doesn't do that.
He doesn't handle criticism well because he's a thin-skinned little bitch.
All right.
Was that out loud? Whoopsie. Sorry. Yeah, I just
wrong.
woke up. I don't know if you missed that part.
Oh, I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, I took one of them old man naps for like half an hour. I was watching this really interesting video on women's romance, or women's literature, I should say. And it was like one of those intellectual video things. And of course, I fell asleep. So I had this weird dream that you and me had a sponsor, and it was Doug and Limu from the Liberty Mutual commercials.
Oh,
I don't know
actually
if you
like
guys
those
get
commercials.
those. Yeah. Well, I had this weird dream, but like Doug wasn't sure if I wanted to still be in them because I used the word liberty, but I didn't put mutual after that on a video title. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Where can I get a link to this? Are the video we're watching now or the one we just watched? I can try to remember to drop both of them in the, just let me know which one you wanted. Anyway, Jack, we're watching Hasan explain away the video that even has Elon Musk now talking about what a shitbag Piker is.
Yeah, that really surprised me, by the way.
Not me, because this shit has been blowing up, and after Charlie getting killed, Hasan's days as a creator getting away with all the shit he said were over. Because the man has been openly violent with his rhetoric for ever. Yeah,
it's disgusting how much they've put up with it, but the fact that Musk sent a message to Bezos about it, that actually surprised me. He was angry enough to do that. Real fast before you start that, thank you, Keldrig. It was the juice. That guy just can't stop murdering people. Look, he's from beyond the grave. He's like Voorhees, you know.
Indeed. All right, here we go.
Machinations on Twitter. In the past 2 days, a clip compilation of Hasan calling for violence and air quotes at the beginning posted by right-wing accounts and has gone ultra-viral, millions upon millions of views. It was seemingly created by Tectone. It wasn't. It was created by a sex pest in the orbiter. I don't think Tectone even knows how to use editing software. Anyway, Dick Tone posted it, who hinted at this, see first image, and it blew up and reposted by Right Angle News Network. Since then, Grums, Dan Saltman, Tectone, and the Quartering, Drew Pavlo, and other right-wingers have been spamming it. Some even saying that Hasan said these things after Charlie died. Elon Musk has replied.
Okay, this is what I was talking about where you guys are like, we can't see it. Okay. If anybody is saying that the video that we just watched came after Charlie died, all of that stuff came after Charlie died, they're just wrong. I've not seen a single person say that myself. I'm not saying nobody did. I have seen some right-wingers spreading around some shit that is clearly bullshit. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's one or two. But that is a minor point compared to all of the shit he said.
Well, especially because Hasan is one of the people ginning up outrage and anger.
Yeah.
So I think it's more important that he said it before Charlie died.
Yes, exactly. It actually is worse that he, well, maybe not worse, but just as bad that he said it beforehand. Anyway,
several times. The compilation is a joke. The first one is him 3 years ago talking about Democrats needing to be better at debate rhetoric. He's being hyperbolic and is not meant to be taken literally.
This is the one about stab them, gut them, have their guts spilling out on the stage. All right.
What's the punchline to that joke?
It's just hyperbolic stuff, Jack.
Yeah, bullshit.
You know how you hyperbolically gut somebody and have their guts writhing on the floor? That's the direct quote. Or sorry, writhing on the stage is the direct quote. When you're talking about debate. Now, I haven't seen the full clip, so maybe he was. Maybe he was, Jack. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one.
I know, but they clipped it in a way where it seems like I'm saying like the Democrats need to start killing people or something. The second is him reciting what some angry conservatives said in a voicemail to a Republican politician that made him resign. Hasan was highlighting the anger people feel with their representatives. There's also
No. Okay, stop right there. Up as we watched it. Hasan says that shows untapped potential, revolutionary potential even. He was saying it to his audience. What he said, for those of you who either missed it or don't remember, he was talking about the guy. He got a message where people were telling him they were going to take their their AR-15s and kill him. And that made him stop running for office again. And Hasan was saying that to tell his audience how you keep people from running for office. There is no dressing that up. He didn't say it was a bad thing. He was doing it to be like, look, if we are fucking evil to them, they'll be too scared to come into public. What did we just watch Destiny say? You need to make them afraid to talk in public.
Oh, that clip enraged me. Destiny will do anything to get away from those CP allegations, won't he?
Oh, yeah, he will. But what Destiny said is anything Hasan says.
Yeah, no, they're both dirty shitbags, and they've helped innumerably to raise the temperature on a lot of this stuff. I hold a lot of these streamers responsible. Yeah, we got quiet all of a sudden. Because we're all, taking a moment of silence for how awesome we all are.
That was the full context. If you're talking about the clip with that part of the clip, yes, the full context is that somebody threatened a elected official, and the official decided because of the threats he wasn't going to run anymore. And Hasan was like, "Look how good this was." This shows he literally used the term untapped potential, referring to somebody who threatened to murder a public official.
Yeah. Look, I don't think Hasan was taken out of context in any of these. He says this shit all the time. It's his bread and butter. And it's like pornography. You get tired of the vanilla shit, so you got to ratchet it up. That's the problem with having a show like Hasan's where he's constantly ginning up outrage. You always have to have it one notch higher to keep your stupid moron audience.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on the first one because I haven't seen it. I don't know. The second one, there is no ambiguity. None. And in that one, he goes on to talk. I see that they skipped that. They go on to talk about how impressed he was with Taylor's video on someone has to do it. They skip over that completely.
Yeah. No, I'm not surprised.
Someone has to do it. Everybody here knows what that means. Everybody here knows what that means. Untapped potential, you guys. Anyway.
also a clip of Hasan talking about the ACP and Fuentes calling again, not for a call for violence, but they're banking on people not knowing what the ACP is and doing what they always do, taking his jokes sincerely.
Okay, this is the one where he screams, "Murder them" in Minecraft, and then continues on his rant about how they should be murdered and the streets should run red with their blood. Jokingly. The whole in Minecraft thing is supposed to be a joke when you're being edgy, Jack. We've used it ourselves occasionally.
Yeah, more ironically kind of thing. But yeah, that's not a legal defense,
Even if it was, watch the clip. He catches what he just said and has to throw in the Minecraft thing. He wasn't joking.
No, I don't think this man has that good of a sense of humor. Or is that witty?
They skipped it because there's no way to spin it. Yeah. And this happens with Hasan viewers all the time. Like with the clip that I argued about with the Medicaid thing and Rick Scott being murdered. They always have a way to just get around it. They will never address what he actually said.
Why would they want to do that?
Regardless, this tricked most of the right-wing Twitter, who are all calling for him to either be banned, arrested, deported, or killed. These right-winger influencers.
Who's calling for you to be killed?
Nobody's calling for this tard to get killed.
No. The best thing that could happen is he could stay out there giving his opinion just on a much smaller platform like Cozy. Because then we could still see what a horrible shitbag this man is. And he wouldn't be influencing millions of children.
Yeah.
Either don't understand or do that when Twitch doesn't ban Hasan for these out of context clips, it might convince very angry people that violence is the only solution.
If you cared about Medicaid fraud, you'd kill Rick Scott. Showing people that will make you think that the only solution to politics is violence. And that's the right-wingers' fault.
It's out of context, Monkey. That's out of context. See, the chair actually makes him say that.
You know, my stalker was back today because in response to the Destiny clip, I said the only tool that the only way to affect change that the left believes in is fear. I'm paraphrasing myself. Basically, the only thing they use is fear. And they shot back with my little stalker was like, "Oh, there's the right wing does it too." And I'm like, I didn't say the right wing never uses fear. Fear is part of politics. It's just it is. But today, can you name me anything that the Democrats run for that they don't run it on fear? I started listing them off, and I in response to them, and I had to stop because there were just so many. They're gonna make women have babies. They're gonna make raped 10-year-olds have babies. They're going to put people in concentration camps. Democracy itself is dying. Fascism is coming here. They're turning us into 1930s Germany.
They're going to put y'all back in chains.
There's not a single goddamn platform that they run a positive message on. Not one. But not in their world. Because remember, if you watch the politicians, it is the Democrats who say, all the Republicans have is fear. They just try to scare the shit out of you so that they can kill you and take all your shit and give it to white men. Communists will always, always, always accuse you of that of which they're guilty. And that's what's happening right here. Look, listen to that fucking statement. They're trying to show the audience that the only way to deal with Hasan is with violence. It's literally a video calling to get him banned off Twitch. The video wasn't a call to kill Hasan. It was get this fucker banned from the platform where he's broke their rules repeatedly. Twitch is one of those places where you can get banned for something you said off platform. It is in their terms of service. And that motherfucker was up there calling for the death of Donald Trump. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it. That was such a great video. Revolution.
He has broken their terms of service multiple times in just one stream.
Yes.
This is an ongoing problem with this guy. It's not like it's a one-off or even like a 2 or 3 time violation. He has done it dozens of times.
Hey, nuts.
Yeah,
and look, some of those would have been worthy of just like a week or 2 week bans. Remember the last ban we know he got, it was 1 day and it was his day off. It was the day he doesn't stream. They gave him a ban for that day.
Yeah, and he was still bitching about that.
This motherfucker has been repeatedly in violation of their rules. And sometimes repeatedly, egregiously in violation of their rules. Nobody's calling for him to be shot. They're calling for him to get kicked off of the platform for advocating for violence.
Oh, responsibility and accountability. The arch nemesis of Hasan and most women I know.
Oh my God.
They're putting a massive target on Hasan's back. There's one tweet, the very last one from Tecton, where he completely fabricates quotes from Hasan. He's as good as putting a hit on him with the one about Kirk. Yeah. So as you can tell, it's like me with long hair talking about the fucking Democrats and their inability to address Herschel Walker with like aggressive tone.
This is the part where I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt on gutting somebody. He was talking about gutting a black man. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, a little bit.
Pretty on brand for the left, though, if I'm being honest.
I mean,
he went
yeah,
old school. Now, as for whether or not Tectone said anything after that was fake, fake quotes. Let's see if we can find Tectone here. There's Tectone. Where is the first tweet of this? Tectone was out living his best life today. Where was that video from a couple of days ago? Yeah, there it is from a couple of days ago. So what did he say after that? This could be huge. That's not it. Interesting. That's not it. Also not it. Not it. Are they talking about this one where he quotes Nux or where he retweets Nux? I don't see anything on here where Tectone even added to that.
Oh, well, it's in the penumbra.
Must be. But look, I mean, it came from a Hasan fan, so that doesn't mean it has to be true.
Sadly. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Keldrig. I'm confused. Yeah, we all are. Hasan's on the screen.
No, he's not. There's a kitty cat on there now. How dare you?
Oh, I'm not looking at the screen. I'm reading the thingy. Are we conservatives trying to back 30s Germany or 50s America? The leftists keep saying both, and I'm not sure which one we're doing. That's some substantial differences, and I need to know where I should stand on the issues. Well, that's the problem, Keldrick, is these people don't believe in linear time. It's sort of like when the Vatican added 300 years to the calendar.
Yeah.
That's a real theory. That has some actual evidence. Yeah, they don't understand linear time. So we are simultaneously still in slavery while fighting the Jim Crow Reconstruction era. So, yeah, it can both be 30s and 50s at the same time. And they're all fascistic either way. So, yeah, they're both wrong and evil and full of Nazis. That's just the mentality you're dealing with. A lot of smooth-brained, special needs people that apparently can time travel at a whim. So I don't know what to tell you, man. I really have no idea how these lunatics think.
Okay, I promised this lady earlier, and I just want to show you guys an example of how you can take somebody out of context.
Reason that he is seen as a divisive figure is, and why the left has had a reaction as well in this, is because he has been known to make racist statements, to say that, you know, if he were to see a black pilot, he wouldn't necessarily trust their ability to fly a plane.
That's not racist. It's based on DEI and people getting jobs they don't fucking deserve.
Yeah.
Does that mean every black pilot can't fly? No. Does that mean there might be some who weren't as qualified as other pilots, but they got it because of their skin color and therefore may be a problem? Yeah.
He has also said that it was a mistake to pass the Civil Rights Act.
Okay, let me back that up a second.
Said that it was a mistake to pass the Civil Rights Act.
She said, he also said that it was a mistake to pass the Civil Rights Act. Now, if we just cut off the front part of what she said there, this lady literally just said it was a mistake to pass the Civil Rights Act. She said those words, Jack.
Time to edit. Oh.
So So if any Democrats have some anger, should have it for this chick. She literally just said it. And I'm giving her as much charity as she's giving Charlie here. I just love that the title of this is Fear and Fury. And he was a divisive figure. That's why the left has an opinion on this. He was a divisive figure because you fuckers didn't like what he said. For the record, most of Charlie's takes would have been perfectly acceptable on the left 30 years ago. Probably about half of them still would have been acceptable on the left 15 years ago.
Yeah, look, Charlie was a very milquetoast moderate Republican. He was not that extreme. Shit, he's friends with Buck Angel, for God's sake. It's not like he's a Klan member or anything, because he's not a Democrat mainly. So yeah, they're trying everything they can to smear this man. Did you see that article from The Nation?
My internet's fucking up. I don't know if you can hear me right now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. The article from what?
The Nation?
The Nation? No, I saw the Atlantic one.
Oh yeah, The Nation came out with one that was almost as well. It was probably more vile, actually. They really laid into him. And they accused him of being Fuentes, effectively. So yeah, I think there's gonna be some lawsuits that come out of this for defamation, most of which are just gonna be settled. So I don't know. I think that these people haven't learned a fucking thing.
Well, it's been my experience this week. Look, I wasn't a huge Charlie watcher. I've had to go look this stuff up since every time I read one of these stupid ass quotes, and then I could go find out what the real quote is, what actually happened. And it is amazing. I have yet to find one where it's in context. Finally, somebody sent me one today. They thought they had me, Jack. Because Charlie talking about Kamala Harris. This is before Biden drops out of the race. And he's talking about how there's Republicans who really want to run against Kamala. And he starts talking about Joe Biden, and he says this, who should be put in jail and executed. Like, oh, look, violent rhetoric. Couple of things. One, in order for him to be put in jail and executed, he would have to be tried for it. So Charlie wanted him to go into the system, not just be shot on stage.
Yeah.
But more importantly, that's an okay opinion to have, especially if you think the man committed treason, because the prescription for treason is death. That's the punishment for it, and should be the punishment for it. And for anybody who doesn't think that Biden, look, I don't think we should, because the man, he's old and demented and doesn't know who he is.
Yeah,
I'd be fine with locking him up for the rest of his natural life.
Well, he probably needs to be in a care home anyway.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the 30 years it would take to get to the death penalty phase of that anyway.
Yeah.
But what we saw in Afghanistan, when we saw this man get 13 people killed because he wanted to have a fucking press conference on 9/11 to say he ended the war.
Yeah.
A war that was ended when Trump made the deal to end it.
Yeah, over a photo op.
And he fucking blew that up, pissed those people off, and got our countrymen killed. Fuck him. Absolutely, in a just world, he would have been tried for treason and hopefully found guilty. And the result of that should be death. I'm just saying. Tell me how radical I am, because the founders would agree with me. They had no problem with killing treasonous people.
Oh, no, they thought pretty highly of such activity.
Yeah. But this is what they point. Look, he advocated violence here. No, he actually advocated going through the system. I have yet to see anybody provide me a clip of Charlie saying anybody should just be murdered in cold blood.
Yeah, he never advocated that.
I've seen that shit from a lot of lefties.
Yeah, and they're a bunch of fucking degenerate scumbag liars for it too.
Somebody sent me a video of a guy who watched Hasan for a week.
Yeah, Fugi sent me that.
There's
that
an
guy's
amazing,
obviously a lefty too.
there's an amazing moment in it where he accidentally makes the case for Israel to exist. Not the guy who made the video, but Hasan accidentally makes the case that Israel should exist. It's wonderful.
Well, Hasan is really dumb. That's part of his problem. He doesn't have any like long-term thinking or foresight. That's one of my problems that I keep seeing because I've been watching a lot more lefty videos recently, especially with college students.
Mhm.
Their inability to grasp anything outside their ideology is slim to none.
Compare Charlie Kirk saying that Biden should be put in jail and executed to Hasan saying if you want to fix Medicare fraud, you should murder Rick Scott. Sorry, kill Rick Scott. He didn't say he should be tried and executed. Kill him. We're not the same. Left and right are not the same.
No.
Anyway.
And has definitely lobbed a number of attacks on transgender individuals. And so there's a lot across the LGBTQ advocacy space.
Lobbed attacks at the LGBTQs for the transgender. Yeah, he said they don't belong in girls' spaces. They don't belong in women's sports. And I think Charlie is one of the ones who, I think Matt Walsh was another one. Don't quote me on those two, but I'm almost positive that just transgender surgery in general should never be done. If you're 18 and you want to do it, I think you're a fucking moron and you're going to regret it in the long run, but you're an adult. Fine. I do disagree with what Charlie said on that, but he didn't say they should be murdered or harmed. He was actually arguing for them not to be harmed. He attacked them by saying nobody should mutilate them.
Yeah.
That's the thinking of the left. And this is what I was telling you guys earlier. This is why they have to control the narrative. This is why they have to keep you from saying. This is why Destiny wants you to be afraid to speak in public. Because if you actually examine their ideas, they're fucking stupid. He was so vicious, he said not to mutilate children. That bastard.
Fucking monster with his words.
He said grown men shouldn't have their dicks in little girls' faces. What an asshole.
Monster. Well, I mean, Destiny probably would argue that.
Oh, I fucking hate these people.
Who are opposed to him. And I think you're seeing right now in the aftermath of his horrific and tragic killing.
You don't have to pretend, lady. I'm be honest with you. I wish the people who clearly advocate for this would just be honest about it. Just say you think he deserved to die. Just say it.
That there are two things that are happening, which is the rightful condemnation that political violence across the board is wrong, should never happen. But then the administration and the White House and the Republican movement essentially trying to revise a bit of the history of his legacy.
By correcting your bullshit telling of it, we're revising it? Well, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's revisionist history. Not like, the 1619 Project or anything.
Sometimes history needs to be revised because it's written down wrong.
Yeah, but King Henry VIII was not black. Neither was Anne Boleyn. Vikings were Moors, black men. Yeah,
but
I don't trust these people with any kind of revisions on history.
The idea that history should never be revised is nonsensical.
Absolutely.
there's times that it needs revised because it is absolutely written wrong. That people get stuff wrong. People have their own biases when they're writing about it. There wasn't enough information at the time they were writing about it. The revision isn't the problem. It's false revision, like the 1619 Project.
Yeah.
It's when you take real history and go, I don't like that, and I need to change it. What you guys don't like about the revisionist history of Charlie is that people are pointing out you're a bunch of lying shitbags. And there's video.
What?
This is why Stephen King had to come out and be like, oh, yeah, actually, he never said that gays should be stoned to death. But there's still people repeating that nonsense.
And that is something that is also being talked about.
That's something that's being talked about. You're great at your job, you fucking idiot. People said it. Now this one, I actually hate Dangerous a little bit right now because Mehdi Hasan is one of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. All of the Ilhan Omar tweets that are going around or quotes, remember some of those are fake, but all of the quotes that are going around from her over Kirk's death came from his show. Because Mehdi Hasan had Ilhan Omar on to talk about political violence.
I saw a clip from that, but I can't listen to that woman. She is another not smart person.
Yeah, this is some people did some things, is how she described 9/11. This is the brother fucker who should be kicked out of our country for violating our immigration laws, for violating our laws against incest, who never should have been here in the first place. I don't know why we imported a bunch of Somalis. Makes no fucking sense to me.
They were given refugee status, so most of them need to go home.
Say, don't care.
Yep.
Get out.
Refugee time's up. Bye-bye.
But anyway, Mehdi said this. I remember how much Muslims were lectured about the importance of a right to offend being part of a right to free speech. You and I remember differently, sir.
Yeah.
Darth Mandalore, thank you. Most people on social media named Hasan are retards. I don't think you need to specify on social media.
Yeah.
We were told that we must accept offensive and racist remarks about our faith, our prophet, etc., in the name of free speech and integrating into Western civilization. Voltaire and the rest. Apparently, Voltaire was having conversations with him.
Well, it was nice of him to come back from the dead. He seemed like a pretty interesting fella.
It's weird because I was alive for 9/11, Jack, which is what he's clearly referencing.
Yeah.
I remember being lectured that I shouldn't say anything bad about Muslims.
Oh, God, constantly.
I remember that still being a thing now.
Yep. Constantly.
Show me the people who were saying, hey, Muslims, you just got to take this. And I am curious, Muslim, what did you want to do to people who were saying things?
Oh, were machetes involved?
These same folks who lectured Muslims are now saying to people that they cannot be offensive about a dead conservative influencer, and they will be punished if they do so, even if being offensive is one speech is literally what the First Amendment guarantees. I am happy to see the left suddenly give a fuck about free speech. It's pretty fucking pathetic that you got there because you want to be a shitbag to a dead man. You're so brave. So I'm going to issue you a challenge, Mr. Mehdi Hasan. Come hang out with me. You and me will talk about your religion. And I'll be as frank as I am about everything else. And you publicize it. And let's see which one of us gets in trouble. Let's see which one of us gets called a phobe. And I will only be real. I will only do things like point out that your pedophile prophet married a 6-year-old, but was kind enough not to fuck her till she was 9.
He was a very giving man.
Very giving. Very, very nice. Let that hole grow just a little bit more. Degenerate fucknut.
Right? Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Something that needs revised is the idea that humans came out of Africa because the earliest human remains were found in Greece and the Middle East and China. Sure, we evolved out of Africa, but humans probably first diverged from other primates further north. Yeah, that really is never going to get addressed. So, yeah, the first civilization that's known to have existed was Sumeria, and that was clearly in the Middle East. And most of the oldest bones were found in 3 locations: Greece, I think Iraq, and China. So, good luck with all that. That's never going to happen.
Islam is a religion of peace. A peace there, a peace over there. Yeah, it really is. I just don't remember this time period that media is talking about, because there's never been a time where it's been acceptable to the mainstream of society what I just said, even though it is 100% true. Even being honest about their religion is seen as being Islamophobic.
Yep.
Just telling the truth about it. How dare you? Do you remember Ben Affleck when he got all fucking pissy over Bill Maher and Sam Harris talking about how fucked up Islam is?
It's just gross. It's just gross.
How dare you? Shouldn't be saying these kind of things. And who got excoriated in the press for it? Was it that tampon of a human? Nope. It was Bill and Sam.
Yep.
Can't believe they're saying these bad things. All they did was talk about the truth. You're not even allowed to be honest about Islam. And now he's trying to use something that never, this is the revisionist history that's bad, because this shit never happened. But he's revising history so that he can justify people being shitty to Charlie. You don't even have to do that. You can just say you believe in free speech, therefore people can be as shitty about it as they want to. You don't even have to make up this shit. But he comes from the press corps, so can't help himself. He really wants to be a good person who doesn't lie, but it's in his DNA. And I'm not talking about the Muslim part of it. I'm talking about the journalist part.
Yeah, they believe in free speech in one direction only, and that's theirs, not anybody else's.
He didn't even have to lie. He could have just said that he believes in free speech and been done with it. But no, he's got to dress it up so that Muslims are still Charlie Kirk dead, Muslims most affected.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously.
For fuck's sake, man. What is this one? I don't care about that one. We already did that one and that one. I was on the internet more than I realized today.
Well, it was a busy day.
We had another amazing troon. This is from a high school I don't remember where, and I probably wouldn't say it if I could, because I'm very weary about doing that now.
Yeah. Well, the tensions are pretty high, so it's best to err on the side of caution.
So in this race, it's a women's race, a women's 5,000 meter junior varsity race. A boy won the race by over 2 minutes. Sorry, he's got a ponytail, so clearly he's a girl.
Yo, yeah, I mean, clearly that is a stunning and brave vagina haver right there.
Look at the difference between second, third, and fourth place. It's 20 seconds and then 30 seconds. The difference between first and second is over 2 minutes.
That's crazy.
It's after 5 and Elon hates me.
Apparently, they did have some kind of massive network outage over at Starlink yesterday, so it's probably a cascade problem.
And I remember I was online when that happened. It lasted for me for about 15, 20 minutes.
Maybe they're still working on that.
Anyway, I'm not sure if that came through. Look at the difference between second, third, and fourth place compared to the difference between first and second. First and second, there is a 2-minute difference. Between second and third, it's 20 seconds. Between third and fourth, it's 30 seconds. 19 seconds. It's not even another 30 seconds. So those girls all finish within a minute of each other. The boy who ran the race beat them all by over 2 minutes. No difference. Nothing to see here, folks.
Nothing at all.
Nothing to see. He wins by so much that the crowd is whoops. Sorry. The crowd is cheering, and he comes across and they're yay. And then there's just like this dead silence as they realize there's nobody coming behind him. It just gets really awkwardly quiet. I would watch the video on here, but it's a video of a child, and we're not going to watch that on here. Look, the fact that people are helping children do this stupid shit doesn't mean we should vilify the children. It's the parents, it's the teachers, it's the politicians who are the problem.
Yeah, it's the vegan cat situation.
It's not the cat's fault that his owner's an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this one up just because it made me laugh. Lesbian Brokeback Mountain remake starring Margot Robbie and Emma Watson confirmed. And somebody responds, I'm conflicted. On one hand, if this were true, I'd be annoyed with Hollywood trying to remake every movie with female leads because my vagina feminism. On the other hand would be lotion.
Yep.
I feel you. Look, I had no interest in Brokeback Mountain. I would watch that version of Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, I would too.
On slow-mo. What else do I have today? Oh, this one actually surprised me. And it's because he's from Hollywood and stuff, so I just assumed. I shouldn't do that to people in Hollywood. This is a statement. I'm going to read the statement and I'm going to tell you who said it. It's been 4 days since the public execution of Charlie Kirk, and my feelings have not subsided. They've only gotten more intense. The extreme sadness, the rage, the sick, gutted emptiness, then the realization comes. The realization of what his death has exposed. Never in the history of my life has it been so easy to see who is good and who is evil. It's giving me extreme clarity. There's no gray anymore. To all the people dancing on the corpse of a man who was publicly slaughtered in front of his family, for the whole world to see, just know that we see you vividly and you are vile. Whoever raised you failed miserably. Hashtag we are Charlie Kirk. Hashtag rest in peace, Charlie. Jamie Kennedy wrote this.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The goofy dude from Scary Movie, for those of you who don't know who Jamie Kennedy, I love the Jamie Kennedy Project. He was in Malibu's Most Wanted, which
Malibu's Most Wanted. It's a great fucking movie.
Such a great movie. Such a great movie.
So fucking dumb.
King Kong ain't got shit on me. When I saw this from Jamie Kennedy, I saw that he put out a statement. I'm like, fuck, what am I about to read? And then I read it, and I was like, this is why you don't judge a book by the fact that it's in Hollywood.
Yeah, shockingly, one of my favorite porn stars, adult entertainers, Kenzie Reeves, came out and said how horrible this murder was. You're looking at like a complete wake up of a lot of people here from all across the spectrum who have been silent for years about stuff. They're not political people. They're from all walks of life, and they are revolted by what they're seeing. People celebrating a murder.
I need to correct myself. He's Randy from Scream, not from Scary. I've watched Scary Movie like 4 times in the last month. Sorry. Yeah, he's Randy from Scream and Scream 2. He shows up in Scream 3. Does he in 3? In 3?
Yeah, he's on. I think he's the.
Oh,
he's got a video clip on that one.
His sister brings a videotape of him.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, which the first 3 Scream movies, if you guys haven't seen them, those are great films. They really a lot of fun.
I love the Scream, and in fairness, 4, 5, and 6 aren't horrible. They're just
they're okay.
They're not. They break away from the formula too much.
Yeah,
I do like what they do with Billy's daughter. That's a cool thing.
Yeah,
but they should have made her the killer.
They do need to. Spoiler alert. They do need to do.
I didn't say who she was. If you just see the things, you see she's in all the movies. She couldn't be the killer.
That's fair.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, they do need to move away from Sidney Prescott.
Yes,
they don't have to kill her. I think that's a little overdone. Killing the final girl in the sequels. That's a little lazy at this point. But they do need to. They did try that with like Jenna Ortega and some of the other characters. But yeah, they need to continue that trend of just kind of introducing new people, picking up the Ghostface mantle, and you don't have to tie it all back to the first movie. You're trying a little too hard. It's not Jason Voorhees.
Well, you can tie it back to the first movie, but have it in the town, not related to something tangentially with the original movies. I don't mind the killing of the final girl if the final girl isn't really important to the series, because by the time they kill off Nancy in Elm Street, because they kill her in 3, right?
I think it's 3. Yeah,
she's in the first one. The second one isn't about her at all.
Yeah,
and then she shows up in the third one and ends up killed. I'm okay with that, just like in the Jason movies. Because typically what happens is the final girl or boy, as the case may be,
it's usually a girl,
gets murdered in the beginning of the next movie. And I'm okay with that. But it had, with like Scream, the whole thing is that she lives. She doesn't die, and they have her back for 3 movies where she doesn't die. She overcomes and becomes a stronger person for it. Yeah. Disney, that's how you make somebody weak and then turn them into stronger.
That's how you write strong women. I mean,
you have a hero's journey.
Yeah. They actually have to struggle. And Sidney Prescott is a really good example of how to write a strong female character.
She gets her ass. She gets her ass beat, and she wins by being clever.
Yeah, she's smart. And that scene in 3 where she lands on the end table. The dude behind me, who was a riot, was going, "Damn, girl!" He made the movie experience so much better. But that was what we were all thinking because it looked fucking painful.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how you write a strong female character. Take note, writers.
She was a great female protagonist. She was. And unlike somebody like Katniss from the Hunger Games thing, she tried to stay away from the stuff, but when she got pulled into it, she dealt with it.
Yeah.
And she eventually gets to the point where she's like, just fuck it. I'm going to take care of this myself. But yeah, so I was very shocked to see that come out of a member of Hollywood, honestly. And
yeah,
maybe this is why Jamie doesn't act as much anymore. Maybe he's been a little too open about his politics. We know how that helps you in the town.
Yeah. But yeah, I am glad to see people speaking out about this, but I don't have a lot of faith. I think there's going to be copycats. And
I don't know. I can see it. The one thing I will say that I'm happy about the way the reaction has gone is that so far I haven't really seen anybody trying to make the guy into a hero like they did with Mangione. Oh. He's mostly been irrelevant.
You didn't watch that video I sent you, did you?
Which one? The college one?
The second video with the memorial.
I'll have to look at the videos again.
So the long and short of it is there's a kid that tears up part of the memorial and he's wearing the shirt.
Oh yeah, I did see that, but again, I mean, he's just wearing the guy's shirt. He's not telling me how much he wants to jack him off and have his babies.
Yeah, I think that probably is happening, but we don't see it because it's on Blue Sky and nobody goes there except perverts.
But with Luigi, that was still happening on Twitter. I mean, I'm not saying nobody's making him a hero or nobody's trying to make him out to a hero. It's just not as prevalent as it was with Mangione.
They're doing it on the down low.
About how Charlie deserved it rather than who did it.
Yeah.
Real
fast.
Let me go ahead.
Yeah, you first.
Michael, thank you. Monk, you haven't met my classmate. I have less friends now. Fair enough.
Yeah, I've lost considerable amount of my Facebook friends.
Did you have a thing?
Yeah. Thank you, Darth Mando. Hey, barbed wire was a great way to write a female character. Yeah, if you haven't seen the barbed wire movie, it's basically Casablanca, but with more artificial boobs. Yeah, I actually like that movie. I thought it was stupid fun. It's not a good movie, but it's fun. Thank you, Darth.
I want to read this from Tim Poole. He says, I've never advocated severing ties over politics, but people celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk have crossed the line. And some people took umbrage with what I said in response to this. I said, celebrating a death isn't politics. And it can be, Jack.
Yeah, it can be, but it's not required.
And I don't really think that most of the people who are celebrating Charlie dying are doing politics. I think many of them are doing it for clout, which is fucking gross. And I think others are doing it based on just, this is who I'm supposed to hate.
Yeah, there's a lot of mindless drones out there.
This isn't keep your children away from your dad. Don't let them have a grandparent situation because they voted for Trump. Cutting somebody out of your life for who they voted for, that's doing it over politics. Cutting them out of your life because they're dancing on the grave of a dead man and telling you how he deserved it, that's them showing you their character. And you should cut people out of your life if their character is that fucking disgusting to you. That's still political in my opinion. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say me and my neighbor are feuding over an apple tree, and then somebody shoots him. And I'm like, I'm glad that fucker's dead. He deserved it. Not political at all. So that it can be pulled in politically doesn't make the thing political. There's a difference between something being inherently political and something people are using for politics. A blank sheet of paper is not political, but you can write political shit on it and make it political. That's a great distinction between the two. Yeah, and it's an important distinction because there are times it's okay to celebrate death. And it's not a political thing, or it is a political thing. I have openly mocked the death of my own grandma, Jack.
Yeah.
In pretty vile conversation about it. And there was nothing political about it. She just was shitty to me my whole life, and I had no love lost when she died. I didn't go to my dad, who was mourning her, and be like, fuck you, Dad, she's dead. Because I'm not that big of a prick. I did stay away from the funeral because I would have laughed. You know, things happen. But it wasn't political at all. This is why I say celebrating death isn't political. It can be used for a political purpose, but in and of itself, it's not. And my whole point being there is that by reducing it to cutting people out of your life for politics, we all know what that means. Because this has been a thing from the left for the last decade. And we've seen what they've cut people out of their lives for. And it's trivial shit. It's, I don't want to wear a mask to the grocery store. I can't be afraid. No. That's not the same, in my opinion, Jack, as somebody being like, Charlie deserved to get murdered in front of his kid. Those are entirely different things.
Yeah. Well, but to the death cult members, they're such true believers. They don't see the distinction.
I don't want anybody minimizing what shitbags these people are by comparing it to what the left cut people out of their lives for, because it's just not the same.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I have for tonight. I didn't bring anything else. We have some videos, but they're very long, and I don't have the time for that today. Jack, you and I need to talk after show.
Oh, okay. Am I in trouble?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we can just have some time to fill up here.
Yeah.
What should we talk about? Should we talk about good movies? You know what? Since we talked about a good parody movie, me and Dangerous were talking the other day about Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a lot of really shitty parody movies, especially after Scary Movie comes out. You have things like Superhero Movie and Vampires Suck, I think is the name of the one.
Yeah, that was terrible.
But there are some other good parody movies that don't get talked about. And one of them is Not Another Teen Movie. I fucking love that movie.
I liked that one until about the last 10 minutes.
That's fair. But there was something great about having Molly Ringwald come in there and go, "Are you serious?"
Yeah. Yeah. And Marilyn Manson was funny in there too.
That whole movie had me rolling. As the part where they're parodying Cruel Intentions and how the sister wants to sleep with the brother.
Yeah.
You're my sister, only by blood. Oh, I fucking love that one. I love because what movies are majorly parody? You got American Pie, Can't Hardly Wait, She's All That. I think those are the three big ones.
Yeah, but they hit on like a dozen different movies.
Oh, sure. They got Varsity Blues in there, which is one of the. Yeah. They have the fat guy playing the fat guy from Varsity Blues. It's great.
Yeah.
At the end, they have to tape him to somebody else to keep him up on the game. I love a good parody movie, and I feel like that one is highly underrated. Same with Malibu's Most Wanted. I think that is so underrated.
Yeah, I was surprised by how much I thought that movie was actually pretty funny. It's dumb, but it's funny.
Me and Lady Monkey went to the theater to see that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw that in the theater. And then as soon as it came on video, I bought it. And somebody stole my disc. Somebody who's been in my house over the years stole the disc. I still have the case, but the disc is gone.
I had that with Dogma. They stole the disc that the movie was on, but left the bonus feature disc. Like, nice. You're an asshole. You could just stole the whole thing.
Oh my God, the Mr. T cameo. Yes. I love the part. The whole football scene is great when they bring the Rudy character out, because they parody that as well. And they get the little retarded kid killed. Don't throw it to me. Don't throw it to me. Yeah, that whole movie is fucking awesome. I'm trying to think of other great parody movies, not Airplane or, some of the really old ones that everybody talks about. Hot Shots,
the 14th.
Saturday the 14th was actually good.
Yeah. A lot of people forget that movie exists because it wasn't a massive hit. It wasn't like these modern movies. They get a lot more advertisement. Back in the video era, it was kind of word of mouth.
Spaceballs. See, Spaceballs is one I think gets plenty of credit for how funny it was. Top Secret is one that doesn't get enough attention.
Yeah, that's a really fun movie.
I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker does not get enough attention. That was such a great movie. But I did learn something about that one specifically. Like a lot of people get the jokes in Don't Be a Menace because there was that big time period of gang movies, all of the ones that are named in the title of that, Menace to Society, South Central, Boys in the Hood, all that shit.
Yeah.
By the time I'm Gonna Get You Sucker comes out, we're actually quite a ways away from the blaxploitation films they were making fun of.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with those movies, a lot of those jokes can miss. And I think that's the same with Top Secret. A lot of the, French underground kind of movie, not like porn, guys. I mean, the French underground from World War II.
Which
lot of
also
those,
was not porn.
yes. A lot of the movies about that kind of stuff had long since passed.
Yeah.
So by the time that movie gets made, a lot of those references, you have to really know some shit.
Yeah, I think the same could be said for the Austin Powers movies because they were making fun of 60s spy movies 30 years late.
I don't disagree with you. I think the saving grace for the Austin Powers movies, though, was Bond is still relevant today.
Yeah, but they were making fun of more than just James Bond because there were a lot of other spy movies and the Mod Squad, shit like that.
Is it In Like Flint? Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah, In Like Flint. I haven't seen that movie in ages.
Yeah, there were a ton of those. You're right. There's probably a lot of references people miss because only James Bond was still around.
Yeah.
Plus, Mike Myers is funny. Those other movies we've mentioned are still funny. They're great.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at the end of I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, when Damon Wayans jumps off the building, didn't he know about the elevator? It's one of the funniest things in that whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
I love all of that shit. I like good parody. And then you have stuff like Vampires Suck, which, again, other than the werewolf scene where he keeps chasing the vehicles, which I'll give him that.
Yeah, that's fair.
The rest of it was just bad. It wasn't even like half clever.
Yeah.
Jay and Silent Bob. I don't know if I ever watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I don't think I've seen that one.
That one was actually okay. There's a lot of like weed jokes in there that I think only potheads are going to appreciate. Same with like Dude, Where's My Car? Even I would actually say Dude, Where's My Car is actually funnier, but Jay and Silent Bob was a pretty fun movie. It was just there's a lot of pot humor in it that I don't care about. But there was some good send up of like Mark Hamill and Star Wars.
I've seen a lot of the movies Jay and Silent Bob come from, like Chasing Amy and Clerks 2. The only one I haven't seen is the one you mentioned earlier, Dogma. The Kevin Smith ones, basically. And by the time Jay and Silent Bob comes around, I'd kind of moved on from them. So, heading out. Have a great day, everyone. You too, Pyrus. Take care, my friend.
Have a good one, Pyrus.
Men in Tights. I think Robin Hood Men in Tights is kind of a weird one because when it came out, it was pretty well celebrated, and it's kind of fallen by the wayside since.
Yeah.
And it's one of those movies where the first time I saw it, I didn't like it. It took a third watch before I finally actually this is actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I had the same reaction to that actually.
It's why I've thought a couple of times about going back and watching Young Frankenstein, because maybe it'll be the time that I like it. Because on paper, I should love that movie.
Yeah, you probably should, but I get it. You have poor taste. That's okay.
I think Hot Shots is one that is very underrated, but it's kind of like Men in Tights, where at its time it actually was pretty popular at the theater and everything. Just nobody talks about it anymore.
Yeah, those movies they didn't hold up well over time.
That's fair.
And I saw Navy SEALs. That movie was a parody of itself. That movie was so fucking bad.
My father hated that movie.
Oh man! So get this: me and my cousins, two cousins, different. They're not brothers. We went and saw RoboCop 2 at the where is it? Parma Mall. That's over by Cleveland. And then we've had the opportunity to go see Navy SEALs, and you got to stay and see RoboCop 2 for free again.
Oh, nice.
And we didn't particularly like RoboCop 2 at the time. We were like, yeah, it's okay. It's not that great. And then we saw Navy SEALs. It was like a midnight showing or a 10 o'clock or something. We were out till like 2 a.m. And we saw Navy SEALs, and we're all like, what the fuck is this crap? And then we watched RoboCop 2 and liked it so much better because we watched a shit film right before it. And I have to thank Navy SEALs for that because it was so bad, it made us appreciate RoboCop 2.
Kentucky Fried Movie is a great movie. I also saw what was Galaxy Quest mentioned. Yeah,
those are good.
Very
movies.
good. No, being the ship that they used in Navy SEALs, my friend's dad was actually on.
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's somewhere on a cutting room floor is a clip of him walking across the deck of the ship, but he didn't make it in the final cut.
Oh, boo.
Yeah. But my dad, being a career Navy man, fucking hated that movie because, first of all, people, when you make military movies, you need to start actually giving them military haircuts. I know Tom Cruise would look funny with a buzz, but nobody's running around with their luscious locks in the Navy. Okay, stop that shit. But the other one he really hated was Backdraft because my dad did firefighting in the Navy.
Oh yeah,
and he hated it. He fucking hated it. I could not watch that movie because of him.
Wow.
He would not shut up about how bad their firefighting was. Calm down, Dad.
You'd think they'd hire consultants because that was a big budget movie. So Navy SEALs was pretty respectable budget. It just looked like a shitty low budget movie.
Well, the problem with Navy SEALs is they were trying to do a Top Gun thing.
Yeah.
And being a fighter pilot is a entirely different world than being a SEAL.
Oh, absolutely. They're vastly different. It's kind of hard to do that with Navy SEALs because they do a lot of like secret shit.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't blame the cast of that movie because they had some good actors in there. But the script was terrible. The direction was awful. They had nothing to work with.
Your dad was totally correct about Backdraft. I didn't doubt him on it. I was just like, shut up, Dad. It's a movie. Yeah, my cousin was a Navy SEAL. They lead a very interesting life. He had a go bag, man. And sometimes he would just disappear and couldn't tell his wife where he was going.
Well, you get the call, you got to work.
Is there another job where it'd be that easy to cheat on your spouse?
Well, traveling salesmen were doing that for years where they had 2 or 3 families.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
No, I got a conference in Toledo tomorrow.
Yeah. I gotta go down to Cincinnati. Why? Nobody goes to Cincinnati. Right? Well, you going to Youngstown next? You try to get murdered? No, I mean like probably airline pilots.
Maybe, yeah.
There's not a lot of occupations that really afford you such a good opportunity to just like up and vanish.
Yeah, it's a unique thing. Wrongfully Accused and Spy Hard, I'm not really a fan of either of those. They have their moments, but they're not. I wouldn't recommend them to people if that's tells you how I feel about them. They're not horrible. I just Yeah. I think there for a while, especially near the end of his life, Leslie Nielsen was just taking any parody job he could get.
What? What?
Yeah.
Vampires Suck is a great movie.
Yeah, it's not. I love Leslie Nielsen. His timing is impeccable.
Yeah.
And I am so happy the Zucker brothers ruined his dramatic film career. Because he is the opposite of Tom Hanks. Because Tom Hanks starts out as the goofy comedic actor, and then they move him into, all the serious shit.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen, if you guys don't know this, go back and look. He was a very serious actor until Airplane.
Yeah. Oh my God. But that's what made there were a lot of guys in that movie who had serious careers.
Yes. Robert Stack, Lloyd Bridges.
Yeah. But they all knew that, poking a little fun at yourself is okay. And they'd all been in dramatic roles before. Wasn't Lloyd Bridges in what, like Towering Inferno or Poseidon or one of those disaster movies?
He was in one of those. I don't think it was Poseidon. It might have been. It's been a long time since I've seen either of those.
I haven't seen him in ages, but he's one of those guys that shows up in a ton of like serious stuff.
Yeah,
and here he is playing he's kind of playing the straight man in the movie, but it worked really well. And Leslie Nielsen was in like Forbidden Planet and a bunch of like hardcore, like serious acting jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's playing this like goofy guy, and then he does Police Squad.
And I think that's probably why Robert Stack and Lloyd Bridges, their careers didn't get pigeonholed.
Yeah,
because he does Airplane, and then what is it? Maybe because is he in Airplane too?
I don't remember. I haven't seen either of them in a while, so I tend to get them kind of jumbled up.
But he does the Naked Gun ones, and don't forget the Naked Gun TV series from Files of Police Squad, or Police Squad is what it's called.
Yeah.
He more heavily leaned into it, and I don't know if he did another serious role after that.
I don't think he did, because he seemed, from what everybody seems to say, is that he had so much fun doing comedy.
Yeah.
He didn't mind. He was already in the late stage of his career. I mean, he was aging out, wasn't getting as many roles because there's not as many serious roles for older actors.
Yeah, this man was in black and white, so.
Yeah. You look at like Robert Stack, he did like the FBI show and a bunch of stuff that was very black and white that Monkey has probably never heard of because he just heard black and white and erased it from his memory.
I know a lot of black and white shit. I just don't watch it. Fuck you. I know what the Three Stooges are.
Yeah, you have no respect for them, see?
I'm going to be honest with you, and probably going to piss some people. I don't find the Three Stooges all that funny. I'm not a fan of slapstick.
I like a lot of slapstick, but too many of the modern slapsticks take it too far. They don't quite get it. They don't get the cartoonish nature of it,
I think because like there was an episode of Third Rock from the Sun where Harry gets beat up quite a bit, and it works, but it's very limited, and he takes falls and stuff all the time. Having one or two moments of slapstick, I'm fine with. It's when that's all it is.
Yeah,
I can't.
Even with the Stooges, that was a lot of that was they were shorts, so they're like 5-10 minutes long at most. And if you really look at it, there's not that much actual violence in them because there are a lot of talking and name calling parts. Then they start slapping the shit out of each other and hit each other with pipe wrenches.
Yeah.
But it's more like a Looney Tunes cartoon. It's so over the top goofy that any sane, normal person above the age of like 7 can grasp the fact that it's not real.
I watched the Three Stooges movie from a few years ago. I didn't know they made one. Let's just say mistakes were made. Who was?
Will Sasso from Mad TV.
The big fat guy?
Yeah, he played Curly.
Curly?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I actually kind of like that movie. It's not a good movie. It's not a very good Stooges movie, but it had a few good homages to the characters because they were trying really hard. And I thought the actors were pretty good choices.
Yeah, I probably didn't even pay attention to it because, like I said, I'm not a big Stooges fan because I probably got introduced to them when I was 11ish, and even by then I was like, this is for little kids to laugh at.
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
Yeah. I was by 11. I was a very serious child.
Well, the Stooges came up at a time when they're from vaudeville, so they came up at a time when animation was still incredibly primitive. So it was basically the short films that they played before the movies.
Yeah.
Which cartoons eventually took the place of. They started playing cartoons at the beginning of movies. But until like Looney Tunes came along, there weren't that many cartoons. There were studios, Max Fleischer and Disney, but there weren't nearly as many as you'd think. Because remember, new movies came out every week. So they were constantly needing newsreels and short films, short subject matters to fill that gap before the main event. Because going to the movie theater used to be a whole lot fucking cooler.
Judge Ugly says, now I feel like some Police Academy. Police Academy is actually kind of a weird one for me because I prefer the sequels up until probably 5 over the original. The original one, they played it so straight. And it's not really until like they bring in Bobcat and that kind of stuff where it gets really silly, and I prefer the more silly stuff. If you're gonna go that silly, you might as well go that silly.
Yeah, I think they were trying to be real careful with the first one, and they finally just said fuck it. Although the Blue Oyster scenes always made me laugh.
Always great. Yep.
No matter what movie.
I love that there's a gay bar in even when they go to Moscow, there's gay bars literally in all the movies.
Yeah.
Police Academy 1 and 2 for me were the best. My favorite is 4, and it's actually nostalgia reasons probably more than the movie itself, because 4 was Citizens on Patrol.
Oh yeah. I don't remember them very well.
4 we saw at the theater, and at the time I was a little skateboard kid, Jack, and they had skateboarding at the beginning of Tony Hawk is in that movie. You just don't know it's Tony Hawk.
Oh,
he turns into David Spade for the movie. Yeah. When they're doing the opening skateboarding stuff, Tony Hawk's one of the guys doing it.
Huh.
And so, yeah, as little skateboard nerds, we knew all the names. I don't even remember all of them now, but all of the skateboarders that they used, we were pumped about that. And then it turned into David fucking Spade. I wonder how Tony Hawk feels about that.
Look, paycheck's a paycheck, right?
My local theater as a kid always played an old cartoon and Stooges shorts before the film. How old are you, Retro?
Well,
that's some like 1940s shit.
That's some independent theater awesomeness there, because you don't see that very often at all.
They're a little fuzzy for me. I remember Citizens on Patrol. Yeah, Citizens on Patrol is probably the most Hollywood of the first 4, because they gave it some legitimacy that the franchise hadn't had until that point. It's a really weird thing for the time frame. But it was seen as a more acceptable movie. And then they do 5, which is where they go to Miami, and it's just trash. They replace Mahoney with that Mahoney wannabe. Yeah. They should have ended it when he left the series because he was the star.
Yeah. Well, I guess you don't want to get too pigeonholed.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, his career really didn't take off. He did Short Circuit and
Cocoon. He did the 2 Cocoon movies.
Oh, those are terrible.
Cocoon is great. How dare you? It's got Diabetes Man in it.
A bunch of old people.
Old people getting horny is awesome.
No, oh my God! Did you hear yourself?
Yes, I'm getting to be an old person.
Yeah. I don't want to watch a bunch of wrinkly people getting randy. You know,
not wrinkly like once the blood starts flowing, my friend.
Oh, it's like watching on Golden Voyager. I mean, on Golden Pond with Katharine Hepburn / Captain Janeway.
No,
Ugh.
if they had gotten all horny and shit in that one, that would have been a better movie.
Yeah, that series would have been a lot better.
On Golden Pond was shit.
That's a stupid fucking movie. I didn't like Cocoon 1 and 2. I understand why people did like it, but it was like batteries not included. It was like, yeah, I get your premise, and that could have been good, but you somehow made it awful.
The second Cocoon, I'm probably with you on that. It was tolerable, but not good. I liked the first one. Now, Short Circuit, since we mentioned that one too, I loved the first one, and then the second one was, yeah, you should have stopped the series when Gutenberg left.
Yeah. The other guy just wasn't as funny. He's an okay actor. He just doesn't have the comedic timing. I did like that guy in The Blacklist, though. He was really good on that. I don't remember his name. But did you like the third one, Chappie?
What?
Did you ever see Chappie?
No.
It's a South African film, and it's about an android that somehow gains sentience. You with me so far?
Yeah.
Except it's in South Africa. And
All right.
He hangs out with Diane Terwald, the band. But they're not actually the band in the movie. They're Eric Bunny Ears acting.
Oh my God. They got to stop putting musicians in acting roles.
Well, look, I'll give them this. They're better actors than a lot of musicians here are.
I love my Married with Children, and there's an episode with Anthrax on it.
Oh
and
my God.
Yeah, it's actually a good episode, and it's great, except for the part where the band gets lines.
Yeah, well, they didn't have the lead singer for Armored Saint yet, so they sucked. So
I also have that feeling about athletes, because like the Super Bowl episode of Always Sunny, Jason Kelsey does great, but the other guy, his timing is so bad. It feels like somebody yelled, "Say it now, stupid."
I am reading my line.
It's abrupt. It's not. He eventually gets a little better with it, but when he first starts, it's so bad. And stop pulling people who haven't taken acting lessons into movies and television shows.
Yeah, very true. Real fast. Thank you, Evolve Patel. Someone I love to watch is Buster Keaton. Not for the comedy, but the amazing stunts and all the cinematography. Just amazing talent and showmanship. Yeah, I like Buster Keaton's movies. That man, I don't know how he didn't die. Because even with the camera tricks at the time, like if you've never seen how they did the scene where he's hanging from the clock tower, that is really impressively done. It's good camera trickery, but he was still putting himself in actual danger with the majority of his stunts.
Bro. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
No, there's a great scene in was it Sherlock Jr. where the side of a building falls and they have to line him up with the window just right so that he falls, like the thing falls around him and he goes through the window hole. That was incredible, because I wouldn't do that stunt. And I can't think of any stuntman today that would be allowed to do a stunt like that with union regs, because they'd be like, that's a liability issue. That guy's going to die if that goes wrong. So yeah, Buster Keaton, worth watching.
Blue Eyed says they get snowed in at the Bundys. Yeah, that's the Anthrax episode. No, I was watching it. I didn't mean to go bro right there, but you reminded me. I was watching this channel that does a lot of 80s retrospective stuff, and they were doing it about the Wonder Woman show.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a moment in the Wonder Woman show where a helicopter takes off and Wonder Woman runs over, grabs onto the little pad thing, the leg.
The foot, yeah.
And it takes her up, and you can see in the shot that she ends up like 30 feet in the air. And originally they had a stunt woman do that, but Linda Carter thought it looked so bad that she did that herself. There's no strings. There's no fastening her to it. She just walks up, grabs it, and the helicopter takes off with her ass.
Yeah, I'm telling you, people back then were a lot more hardcore.
And then they're like, look, Tom Cruise jumped his bike off of this with a parachute. She didn't have a parachute. She didn't have nowhere to hide a parachute.
I could think of one place you could put a parachute.
It just sprouts. But yeah, I mean, I saw that, and even just watching it, knowing she survived and no issues, my fear of heights had me going, stop, put her down.
Right?
Yeah, apparently the studio was really unhappy about her doing that trick.
Oh yeah, insurance probably tripled for the show after that.
All
I
right,
can
guys.
hear an insurance adjuster shitting himself looking at that.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Like I said, I'll let you guys know what's going on with my schedule as soon as I know. But otherwise, I'll be here when I can be. So thank you for coming and hanging out. Thank you for the donations. You guys are fucking awesome. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll throw a link in the chat for something. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the donations, or tips rather, and thank you so much for all the support you give us and coming out and watching the show all the time. You guys are awesome.
Indeed. And Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here, dude.
Take care. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Don't forget to send me pictures of your pussy cat.